a unique individual, a one-of-a-kind fella, and a guy who lived his life on his own terms, Mr. Bob Rodriguez. How many people here tonight saw the weather and thought about Bob? You know, this was his favorite kind of weather in the rain. You know? I don't know how to come down and whole spiritual, religious thing, but he might have something to do with that.
I'm just taking a video.
Well, we're here to talk about Bob. Hey, fellas in the back! Hold on! We're here to talk about Bob. You can talk later. We got time later here, okay? Let's listen up. Bob was born September 18th. Tomorrow would have been his 62nd birthday, 1950. He was born in Helen. Hey, guys, heads up!
Everybody here.
Okay, thank you. He was born. When was he born?
September 18th.
Thank you. You're listening. He was born to Henry and Helen Rodriguez. Grew up in Waukegan. I didn't know Bob as a young man. I've only known him about 30 years. Hey! I'm not joking, am I? Right. Well, all right, guys. Bob, this is very difficult to do, especially you guys talking here. Bob was born, like I said, September 18th. I didn't know Bob growing up, but he used to tell a lot of stories about playing baseball and skateboarding in Bowen Park. He used to talk about riding a Stingray down the Gangster Pool, stopping at Bogosian's on the way back to get a snack. Bob attended Waukegan schools. He went to Clearview and Greenwood School, Jack Benny Junior High, Waukegan Township High School, for you guys have been around a while. And he also attended Southern Illinois University at Carbondale, an experience that stayed with him to the end of his life. Bob loved Waukegan, or at least the Waukegan he grew up in. He often told me he's glad he was born when he was, because he got the experience when America really still was America. And as I get older, I tend to agree with him more and more. He loved Waukegan, collected a lot of books and postcards and newspapers, knew a lot about the history of the town. Bob was also a guitar player, as you can see by the displays here. By the way, let's have a hand for the ladies that put together the displays. I mean, Gina and Harry and Karen. And also, Stevens for having a posters event for this evening. Like I say, Bob was a musician, he was a guitar player, but he was many things. He was a painter, he was an artist, he was a musician, he was a mountain biker, he was an animal lover, he's a sports fan, and Bob was most of all an avid enthusiast of what we call memorable entertainment television. Now, he played in a lot of bands, a lot of area bands growing up, including Barking Abbott, the Gremlins, Orphan Magic, Alto Pass, Otis Chili, AstroTurf, Missing in Action, and The Izzard of Wise. I was reading this over and walking down here. It sounds like code, doesn't it? Gremlins, Orphan Magic, Alto Pass. According to Charlie Alden, Bob first got interested in rock and roll music, like a lot of people, in 1964 with the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan program. And some of his favorite artists were Peter Gabriel, Jimi Hendrix, King Crimson, and Gong, among others. Now, I first met Bob about 30 years ago, and he was still living in that Price mansion over on Grand Avenue, one with the tower. And when I first met him, he had the 3rd floor, and he had the tower. And he was using the tower as his bedroom at that time. And I remember thinking, how Hefner-esque is this guy? You know? I thought that was just the coolest thing I ever saw. Later, he moved into the kitchen area downstairs, and then later into the home his parents formerly had. Bob's vocation was painting. He worked for a while at the Navy base, and then later he freelanced. He became known all down the North Shore for his work, for his meticulous work and his attention to detail. Bob was always ready with advice or equipment if you needed a hand painting for something. He was always willing to help out with everything but actual painting. So he did pretty good. Bob was also a fine artist. He did a lot of drawings. His apartment was often decorated with his stuff. And for some reason, screwdrivers and other hardware seem to play a prominent role in Bob's paintings or drawings. I don't know. I never asked. He never explained it. It's his vision, okay? I just let him have it. Now, Bob was an avid sports fan. He loved the Bulls, loved the Bears, the Sox and the Blackhawks if they were winning. He liked the Cubs. And as we know, Bob passed away before the Cubs could win a World Series. Of course, now I think about it, everyone in this room can probably say the same thing eventually. I don't even know why I brought it up, to be honest with you. But Bob and I used to attend a lot of basketball games. We were big NBA fans. And I can remember, he's an annoying guy to watch basketball with because about 10 or 12 years ago, we were up in the Bucks game, up in the Bradley Center. And there was these guys sitting in front of us who were wearing like deer hats and Packer jerseys, right in front of us, drinking all these beers. They were out of control. And at the beginning of the game, every time the Bucks had the ball, they yelled, "Defense! Defense!" But as the night went on and they hit 25 and 30 beers, it got about the fourth quarter, they go, "Defense! Defense!" For the next 10 or 12 years, I must have watched 400 basketball games with Bob, and there wasn't one game where he didn't turn to me at some point and go, "Defense!" I used to hate it, but I got about it now. I'd give about anything to hear him do one more defense for me.